Hi everyone! Today I am starting out a little differently than I normally do. I am showing you the full finished piece, and that is because it is a contest entry for Holly Hearts Art's 5,000 subscriber contest, and her theme was Biggest Fear. And this piece is a little complicated to explain, but I'll start off with I'm kind of an anxious person, so I have a lot of like little anxieties and fears of like stupid things. So overall, this piece kind of is trying to incorporate that a little bit, but the biggest fear I have is my health going really bad. I have a couple diseases like type 1 diabetes and asthma, and these diseases can accidentally kill you really easily. So for me, it's kind of a big deal, and it kind of freaks me out to have to really sit down and think about that sometimes. Where, with the diabetes, in the long term, it can take your sight, it can ruin your kidneys, you could lose limbs. And in this piece here, I kind of depict the girl here kind of going blind, and the shadow is to kind of show the disease and like the process of disease pulling you into like the darkness and just kind of taking away your life, pulling you from the vivid colors into a dark abyss and starting to lose yourself a little bit. And it kind of goes into a mental aspect as well, where you can become depressed and all of these things just kind of build up and just kind of make you feel like you're falling into like this darkness. And it's not a very comforting thing to know that someday I might go blind. And part of why I wanted to emphasize that is, as someone who wants to have a career oriented in drawing and art, going blind is not going to make that easy. I won't necessarily go blind someday or lose limbs or anything like that, as long as I can do my best to keep up with my health and all of that kind of stuff to start out with. It's just, it sits in the back of my mind and kind of lingers, and when I think about it, it's just like, ugh. Like, oh, I hope that doesn't happen, you know? I've been a type 1 diabetic since I was 6 years old, so about 18 and a half years now, and it causes some problems sometimes, and I've been very fortunate to not have any extreme issues thus far in my life. I've been hospitalized twice, initially when I was diagnosed, and once when I was about 20, and it was really kind of like an almost near death experience when I was 20, because my blood sugars were running too high due to my own negligence. And I guess it was kind of a burnout phase when you have like serious diseases and you have to take care of them for a long time. You can go into burnouts, and they don't usually end well. You usually end up in the hospital and they make you sick, and it's just not good. So that was kind of a moment for me, and it was definitely uncomfortable, and I freaked out quite a few people close to me, and they were not very happy. And needless to say, I wasn't very happy. And of course, every time you go to the doctor for diseases like this, they like to remind you of all of the possible outcomes if you don't take care of it well enough. Like, it's that simple. But they're always there reminding you, so in case you don't remember that you might lose your sight, or you could get an infection and then lose your foot or something like that. But yeah, so anyway, the shadow again was kind of there to represent the diseases in themselves and the lingering feeling of what it's like to be restricted by them. And the lack of color in the skin here is to just show the draining of life and the loss of sight and losing the vision. And that kind of stuff. And then the color that I add in the corner is just to represent, the world, and it was like vivid, and now it's like seeping into this darkness and just kind of really sad and creepy kind of outcome where it's just really unpleasant and scary for me to have to think about these things, and it's something I have to think about on a regular basis, and I can't just escape it, and I can't, control it as much as I would like to. So I don't know. It's hard for me to talk about these kind of things because I'm not someone who really talks about fears that often or really thinks that hard about, stuff that I feel like I'm really afraid of. And this is kind of touching in a different level for me on top of it, just because I don't really talk about being a diabetic very often, just kind of gone a long time without really having to, outside of initially explaining it to people, or, what the difference between type 1 and type 2 is, or, is it the good one or the bad one? Neither of them are good. They're all bad. There's actually several types of diabetes, but anyway, also, if you're still listening at this point, anybody comments about diabetes, please don't leave them unless they're questions or something that's insightful. Like, I don't want to necessarily have to get into arguments because you think that I had too much sugar as a child and I got diabetes, because that's not how that actually works. But that's a whole different rant for a whole different set of things, and let's not do that here. This is meant to be my entry for Holly's contest, and I totally am entering at the very last minute, and I gotta stop doing that. But the last couple months of 2017 so far have just been awful. So much drama, so much problems, and hopefully things will get better. I am currently editing on a brand new software. The Power Director 15, I think, is what it's called. I should know what it's actually called since I'm using it and I paid for it and all that stuff. But we're going to ignore that. And I did get a new computer to edit on. So hopefully all of this stuff goes really well and continues to work well for me, so I can make better videos and better content overall. And just better everything. Better everything. Thank you so much for watching. Make sure you hit like, comment, subscribe, and go check out Holly Hart's art. She is amazing, and you will love her. Bye!